Well, got a call this morning at 4:30. Guy's walk-in cooler was out. It's 50 degrees. He's got it full of food. And it's something you come into on occasion. It's a Greek fella, nice guy. Family's Greek. They have this restaurant. It's in an old part of town. I think the building was built in 1910. It's in front of the steel mill in Lorraine. And it's an old basement, and it's not even a full basement. It's like 3/4 high. You got to walk bent over in there, and it's a dirt floor in there, and it smells all musty. It's a fun job. They a few years ago they had a once in 100-year flood. It rained really hard, and the street flooded out front, and the water went in the front door of the restaurant ruined the guy's floor, and filled up the basement. And we had to end up changing all the compressors. It flooded up above the compressors. They were all underwater. All the controls got, dirty, messed up. But that's what we have to do this morning. Okay, this is the walk-in cooler. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. It's the old wooden one. It's been here a long time. Look at that, the old metal ceilings. This building's from like 1910. But there's our coil. And it's a little bit warm in here. We got 55 degrees on the thermometer. Gonna have to see if there's a leak on it, or the compressor tripped a breaker. Well, this is called a dirt floor cellar. It's it's old building. It smells musty down here. Look at this place. This cellar flooded, and you can see the water line there. These are all new compressors we put in years ago, about 2 years ago. And there's the old one that got flooded out. And here's our... I gotta figure out why this isn't working. Okay, let's get a flashlight on here. This is... Looks like it's about to go into frost. It's a new controls. I still have to figure those out. What I like to do is to see, before I touch the clock, see if sometimes the gears in the back, maybe those little metal gears, get worn out. They don't engage. So I put a little mark on it, and I'll watch, come back in 5 minutes, see if it's turned. What a way to spend 7 a.m. in the morning in a musty basement. It smells musty down here. Must be what I love to do. Okay, contactor. Let's check the coil on our contactor. First, let's inspect it, see if I don't see any burnt wires. What I want to do is check the coil on the contactor to see if I have voltage going to the coil. If I have voltage going to the coil, then the contactor is bad. It's a 2-pole contactor from Copeland. Let's see. It's usually tricky to get at. Look at that. I got 204 volts, and the coil's not pulling, the contactor's not pulling in. Now, let's see. Let's check the voltage across the contactor. I've got 204 volts on top of it. Nothing on the bottom. Okay, if you can see that, I got no voltage on the bottom. Got voltage on the top. And I've got voltage to the coil. So that means that the contactor is just bad. The coil went bad on it. Okay, that's fairly easy. We just got to get another contactor. It's a new contactor. This is a 2-pole contactor. This is a 3-pole. I'm just going to use the 2 legs. It's easy to carry 3-pole contactors around. It'll cover both single phase and 3-phase. good to change one wire at a time. You never take all the wires off and then try to put them all back on. You'll get something in the wrong place. Okay. I think I can almost get it. It's L2. You want to get these wires tight. If you don't, they'll overheat. They'll burn. I'll show it out. Good and tight, that's what you want. Okay, and now L1. Just kind of flimsy, but that's the way it is. Okay. Before we turn it on, we're going to check the voltage. Make sure the voltage is all good. And it's L1 and L2. Now we have 206 volts. It's 122 on that leg, 116 on that leg. That's voltage is okay. The voltage on the unit says right here 208 230 volts, and it's right at the 208 line. Years ago you'd get a compressor that was for 208, or you get a compressor that was good for 230. Now they made them so that it covers a wider range. Okay, let's turn the power on and see if we get them. Okay. Compressor started. Let's see if the fans kick in. pressure, suction pressure. I hate this thing. I have to figure it out every time I work on it. Fan went on. I'm afraid to touch this, but let's see. Two fans are on now. And it's got the icon for the compressor and two fans. My suction pressure looks good. Sight glass has some bubbles in it, but it's just starting up. So we're going to let it balance out. Looks like it might need a little bit of gas. But I'm going to wait about 2 minutes here. And here we come. I'm going to put my gauges on. Now the suction's low. Head pressure's 220. Fans are cycling on and off quite a bit. Okay, putting a little bit of gas in the system. Keep both of the fans on. Okay, that looks pretty good. 404. I have 254 air pressure. I just put a liquid into the suction accumulator. Suction accumulator is pretty good. You don't have to put the you may have a little bit too much in the system. May have to take a little bit out. Looks like that might be the case. Put a little bit back into the tank slowly. Let's see, it's going slowly. And that's good. I'll just put some from the high side into the tank. It's a low volume evaporator coil. What'll happen is when I get to the right level, this will turn to condensation and then I'll stop. Right now, I'm getting liquid coming back. I'm getting liquid coming back from the evaporator. It's called slugging. Now this was frosting, this stopped frosting. And here we go, we're losing. You can see the frost is disappearing now. So I'm gonna stop and see if it holds there. it's just evaporated and just melted. My sight glass is still full. And I have one fan on, one off. And my liquid line temperature is 106. It's slightly warmer than room temperature. And my suction return is 36. Well, I have condensation on the tank. That's good, not frost. Refrigerant comes back into the tank and then into the compressor. If there's liquid in it, it'll fall to the bottom, and this line takes the gas off the top so that the compressor doesn't get liquid into the compressor. It's a good, it's a suction accumulator. It's an excellent idea. This was an add-on years ago. Now they're finally getting smart and coming through. It's probably because they lost so many compressors over the years in warranty. They found that it was better to install it, sell it with it on there, and have the customer pay the extra, you know, $50 or whatever it costs, $30 or whatever. It's just a steel tank. It can't be that expensive to make. But it's good because when you fill it with refrigerant, you can put liquid into it and charge it a little bit faster. My sight glass is still full. One condenser fan's running. My head pressure is 255 for 404. That's fine. My suction pressure is a little bit on the low side. I wouldn't mind to see that a little bit higher for 404, but like I said, it's a low volume evaporator coil. And that's to maintain a lot of humidity in there, not to dry out the, you know, the meats and whatever it's in the cooler. Okay, I'm going to leave it right here. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't have liquid coming back. This says my suction pressure is 28 and my gauge is reading 29. It's close. Kind of interesting. They have little icons there. The compressor's running and the fan's running. I'm still not completely convinced that this is a good idea. I like the old pressure controls on there. This is the pressure control, the low pressure switch and high pressure switch. And it's a fan controls too. It's a good idea, but I don't know, it's a little bit foreign to me. I like the old controls, you know, the pressure controls and fan controls, just easier. I had to put this time clock on. Now we marked it when we came down. And you can see there's the mark that I made on it, and the copper arrow's turned since it's been running. So the clock is turning and the clock is working. That's how you check the clock, is put a little mark on it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm pretty happy with everything. We're not flooding back. Got one fan running. Good. Suction line temperature is 106. It's just slightly warm. It's warmer than my body temperature was 98. 8. I think that's where humans are. And the suction line's 35, so we're good. Hey guys, smelly basement early in the morning, but gotta be done. And we've changed the contactor, and we're running. Food's getting cold. Three guys happy. Later guys.